it's the trend.
Do you know that song? I wear my sunglasses inside. Do you know who else wears their sunglasses?
Hey, Alex, so nice to meet you. And I was like, okay, yeah, what do you want?
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
I'm
refreshing.
like, I gotta go.
But like,
Yeah.
oh, Jin just brought me down.
I'm like taking notes.
He is, and I will always say this, is constant communication.
It was getting really cold or hot. And we were like, what do we do, Christy?
No,
It's
I
inspiring.
drink a lot of alcohol.
We've got her cell phone number.
Hire all the best people in the industry that do that thing great.
There's like, yeah.
You can find it online. It's pretty easy.
Quick Google search.
We have our private.
You can Google. If I don't get up on Monday morning and start that routine over again,
You guys are great.
I'm just so popular.
We're live.
We're live.
Episode 9.
Here.
Our first guest.
First guest on the pod.
I'm a
She-
mystery guest. That's
Oh,
why
wow.
I'm mysterious today.
Yes.
My sunglasses because I had laser eye surgery.
No, you're fine. It's
all good.
it's the trend.
Do you know that song? I wear my sunglasses inside. Do you know who else wears their sunglasses? Bono.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Not my favorite.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
do
love
we have to cut
Nickelback.
that out?
You love Nickelback.
No, right.
We're live. We're live
We're
now.
going to lose clients.
During one of our Christmas events, Christy said, you like Nickelback? And I was like, no.
Immediately booted off the team.
So it's episode 9 of Keeping It Fresh.
Keeping It
and
Fresh.
we've been waiting for this day
Yes.
to have our very first guest on. And we have the best guest.
Yes.
best.
She
The best.
is the powerhouse of real estate. She's not just about
Oh.
sales, but she's all about creating connections with people and making a difference. I
Yep.
truly feel like you're revolutionizing the entire industry, and we're
Yeah.
just so happy
Oh
to have you.
my God.
Yeah.
No,
That's
seriously.
too much.
It is.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's
thank you for
so
coming on.
Yeah.
nice.
This
I
is
love you guys.
Christy, our team leader. Well, one half of our team lead.
This is me.
Yes.
And I was just listening to your podcast yesterday, just catching up on episode 7. And I was like, wow, you guys sound so good. Your voices sound like crystal clear. And I don't know, you guys have the right voices for this.
Yeah,
I
you
really
think?
feel like, and my voice, like I'm not even going to watch this episode.
No, you have to.
You have to. You got to
Do
watch
you know
it.
what I mean? though?
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
listen
yeah.
to yourself, you're like, ew.
Yeah.
I genuinely forget sometimes what we talk about, and then I listen back to the episode, and I'm
That's
like, oh
nice,
yeah,
yeah.
we talked about all these things. Like I forgot.
Yeah,
'Cause it's
cool.
just- yeah.
You guys talk about a lot of stuff.
We
It's
do.
awesome.
Do
You have
I'm
a, can we
scared.
just pull
I'm
this back
nervous.
a little bit? You have a great speaking voice.
No.
I love it when I get a call from you, Christy. It's like, it's a unique voice that only
Christy
you have.
is like
You're so-
to the
you're too
point. Get it done.
I'm very
All
much
the
to
time.
point.
Very direct.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember that one time when we first met Jin? I was on vacation and he called me and I was at the airport. He goes, "Hey, Alex, so nice to meet you." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, I'm." What do you want? He's like, "Oh."
It was the first time we were talking. I was doing an
Yeah.
open house for her.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the lockbox anywhere. I don't know what. I don't
don't know. Yeah. And I was like literally about to board the plane. And I was like, "Oh shit,
Oh,
what do you
I
want?"
knew what was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
The lockbox
yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
I
I couldn't
remember this
get-
ordeal.
Yeah, I couldn't get into the building, and there was no concierge there.
Yes.
So yeah, that's
Oh,
what was
yeah.
happening.
Oh, was this
Yeah.
for the one on Eglinton?
Yeah.
Oh, quite the
Yeah.
story with that one.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are such a warm person
Oh.
that whenever we start a conversation, there is a lot of niceties going on, and it is so nice.
yeah,
but
it's
sometimes I'm like,
refreshing.
I gotta go. But like,
Yeah.
oh, Jin just brought me down a
Yeah.
notch and made me sit for a second.
Wow.
Jin
And not
grounds
feel like I'm
everybody.
in such
Yeah.
a rush. Yeah.
And the
he
other
grounds
way
everybody.
around, I feel like when I get on the phone with you, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to get rid of all these nice and just get straight to the point.
straight to the
Yesterday, you're
point.
like, so the comps on this property. I'm like, you know the property? You're like, you sent it to me yesterday. I was like, we got straight into
Yeah.
it, and we were straight off of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, since we know a lot about you because, we talk to you every week,
Yes.
tell a little bit about yourself to our guest, who you are,
Oh.
why you got into the business, how you got into the business, how long you've been. Give us a little,
Okay.
who is Christy?
Who is Christy? Okay, well, I got into the business in 2005.
Okay.
Before all of you were born. And
Well, before Ian was
Ian
born,
at
we
least.
were around
Okay,
for a while.
Okay, fine.
Kidding.
You guys were little kids.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, 2000. I was a kid. I was 19. I got into
Yeah.
the business, partnered with my mom, and my mom was very inspiring, very encouraging. You guys all know my mother.
Yeah,
because
lovely.
Now it's gone full circle. Now she works under our umbrella, which is nice as a semi-retired agent. But she was the one who taught me. She was my mentor. Flash forward 10 years, I partner with Jeff Ham. No, more than 10 years later, 12 years later. We go, and before that, we had been with Royal LePage. We jumped over to Keller Williams because I was inspired by Sonny Dalgett. He was the one who, really, really gave me this inspiration that like I could run a big team. And nobody was really talking that way back then, and nobody was giving anybody the material, like the guideline to do it. So he was what got me into wanting to take it to the next level.
Wow.
Then flash a few more years later, and Jeff and I decide to partner. And the Fresh Approach team is now what we are today.
Yep.
With you wonderful people. And did I answer?
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So-
So I was going to
Yeah.
say, so what made you want to partner with Jeff versus anybody else in the world or in the business? Like, I know you guys have known each other for a while, but what made that solidify to Jeff and I are going to be partners?
I will take my sunglasses off because I'm just kidding. Okay. So Jeff and I have known each other for years, since we were young, before real estate days. I got into real estate before him, actually, and then he was working with another team as an admin. And and then he got his license, and we were always like, we're good friends. So obviously that's our topic of conversation all those years.
Yep.
When the time came for me to want to make a change, I was growing and my mom was slowing down. And so we were going to be going in opposite directions. Jeff also wanted growth, and he was capped at how much he could do as an individual leader. So we said, is this a thing? And we sat down, had a conversation about it. Now, this was not a quick decision.
Yep.
It took a year of us mulling it over, going through all the aspects of decision making and how it was going to work, and whose listing presentation would we use, and whose this would we use, and all of those things.
Plus your mixed friendship with business too is a
Absolutely
huge thing.
We actually saw it as a plus because a lot of our friends had to choose one of us to sell their house, and now they didn't have to choose.
Yeah.
That's
nice.
awesome.
But like that was nice.
Yeah.
That was a nice part of it. But yeah, so our databases were almost already combined. It felt like because we knew each other's people, and so that was cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just found alignment in those meetings. It was an automatic alignment, but then what we did was we prepared for the worst. So we also detailed out, we sat with a lawyer and we detailed out, what if this happens? What if that happens?
Okay.
Life happens, right? Things change. What is it going to look like in this many years? What's it going to look like in this many years? And we had so much alignment. I can honestly say to this day, I don't think we've ever disagreed. Maybe sometimes we haven't seen exactly eye to eye, but we understand each other's opinions, and then we come together to make a decision on it. We never fight.
Yeah.
We never.
You guys seem like the best brother sister business like relationship ever. Like you guys just seem so connected mentally when it comes to everything business about the Fresh Approach. Like I love it.
I think we did learn a lot, like about along the way, and when we talk to you guys, when you guys ask us questions and stuff, we almost have the same answer.
Yep.
every
However,
like
you guys are completely different people.
Yeah.
But you
we
have-
do business different even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even we negotiate differently. We handle our clients differently. We
Even
do-
going on listing presentations with you guys,
Yes.
like you
It's-
both
yeah,
have your
Very
different ways about
Yeah.
it, but same but different.
same but different.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we try to take the best of both practices and create the Fresh Approach.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it works.
What would you say would be the biggest challenge that you've faced ever since you started the team until now, and what have you kind of done to overcome that?
Okay, well, I think we're in it. I'll be honest, guys.
now?
This is it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
Because you
I'll tell
rebranded. You all rebranded.
yes.
Like, just
we
before
went from
I
Jeff
joined, yeah.
Ham, the Fresh
Yeah.
Approach,
Yeah.
to dropping Jeff's name and just becoming the Fresh Approach,
Yeah.
elevating the look of the brand.
Yeah.
Mm.
That was something that, obviously I inspired, and Jeff kind of gives me carte blanche on that because he says, you're the creative in that way.
Yeah.
That's another thing is we wear our own hats. But the most challenging we've ever faced has been this year. I thought it was going to be last year, but then this year came.
Okay.
And that, as we know, now we talked about the stats today.
Yeah.
In 28 years, we haven't seen this low of sales
Yeah.
in the GTA.
Yeah, it's a
In 28 years.
weird year.
It's a very strange year. Jeff and I have been through years like this. We've been through like dips and valleys, and that's how it goes, right? But this has been the longest stretch of a, let's call it, buyer's market. Okay, if we're gonna label it something.
Yep.
A tough seller's market, right? Yep. And so it's been a challenge because, well, I think we got away with some financial relief in COVID because we didn't have to service things at the level we do now.
Yeah.
And everything costs that much more.
Right.
So expenses tripled, sales dropped.
Yep.
And so it's a financially challenging year for Jeff and I. But I'll tell you the key to why we're navigating through this and keeping our heads above water.
That was my next question for you.
The key is, and I will always say this, is constant communication.
Okay.
We talk every day.
Yep.
We touch base every day. We are constantly knowing where each other is, what we're doing, what's happening with our clients, this finances.
Yeah.
You know, we're in each other's business so much so that it's clarity. Yeah. And there's some freedom in that way where you're just like, okay, we can get through this. Yeah. And I think that where partnerships or businesses fall off is when they start hiding from the problems.
Yep.
We are facing them head on.
Together.
Yeah.
You guys are the best team. Like, honestly, the best team.
I love you.
If somebody
You guys are the best.
Yeah, no, we love you, Christy. Somebody looking from the outside, they see, this team that's turning into a mega team slowly. Well, now quickly, because you guys are in growth mode.
Yes.
But they see all these admins and all this stuff that you've done together. Is there something that's required for that vision to become birthed? Because looking at it now, it's so well oiled. How was it during those first few days? Did you have the exact same vision that you did? Like, did you see all of this? Or was it something that just happened step by step?
It's so funny that you're asking this question because I actually went back to one of my vision proposals for the rebrand yesterday because I'm updating it right now because we're, again, always evolving. You guys know, always innovating and trying to move into another direction. I'm preparing for 2025. And so I went back to my vision. The last one I drew up was at the beginning. I guess it would have been for 2023. So it would have been at the end of 2022. And everything happened.
Wow.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
Everything happened on
Full
it.
circle moment.
I was like, wow, we did it.
Wow.
And all the goals that we had set about the vision, they came together. So to answer that question,
where does your vision come from? Is this something where you sit down and you start drawing things out, or is this something
like, do you do a vision
'Cause I
board,
know
or
you
you just
said
scribble? Like, how does it come?
Yeah, you said Sunny was the catalyst, which made you believe that you could have one of these teams.
Yes.
But was the vision always there for you?
I think I've always been a creative. Okay. And then Jeff is an implementer. And so what happens is there's a book about it. It's called Rocket Fuel. Okay.
Okay.
So it's two partners that come together, and one is the innovator and the other one is the implementer. And sort of that makes the perfect combination of people to create a business.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I haven't read that whole book though. I'm
Yeah.
like talking like, but I know the concept of the book.
Yeah.
I've done the Cold Notes,
Yeah.
and that's the concept. So I'm like, oh, that's what Jeff and I are. We didn't even know it, but that's what we were. So my creative genes maybe come from my dad. I don't know. Like, where does it come from?
Yeah.
But I do visualize things on a regular basis or see something that I'm inspired by, and I take a note.
Yeah.
So what happens is whenever I'm business planning, I go back to all those random notes that I made throughout the year of things that I had seen, examples that I've screenshotted, notes that I've written down of ideas that I've had, and then I plan. And I'll sit there, and it'll take days. but I get in the zone,
Yeah.
and Jeff always gives me the space.
Yep.
When I'm in the zone, he's like,
Yep. Leave me alone.
"You go, girl."
Yeah.
I come up with a plan. I detail it out in a professional business proposal.
Yeah.
And then we sit down and we talk about how we're going to move to the next step and how we're
Wow.
going to implement. And then we onboard the right people
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do
This
it.
gets me so excited for the growth of the Fresh Approach and the people that we have. Like even the couple new members that we have, like they're a great fit.
Yeah.
Like they just fit in the mold of us. You know?
I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Because you guys know how important it is that we take all of
Well, thank you very
your
much, guys.
opinions.
It takes
That was a new
it takes a
person.
lot
Thank
to
you,
get
Alex.
into the Fresh Approach, right?
Yeah.
It does.
She
Like
found me.
Yeah.
We
I was
do-
in a ditch. She was like, "Oh, you need some help, boy."
Yeah, right. He was Rookie of the Year. We're like, get in here, buddy. We want you. Yeah. So we actually really care about the culture. You guys
Yep.
know this about us.
Yeah.
And so it makes me so happy to hear you say that, because it is something that we pride ourselves. We say no more than we say yes to who we bring into our world. There has to be a lot of alignment,
Yep.
okay? And most of that alignment does come down to like your morals,
Yeah.
right?
But there's so many teams out there that just say, join the team, join the team, join the team, and then they don't reap the benefits of Jeff, like for example, Jeff and Christy, right? Like the team leaders of those mega teams, and then you get lost in that transition, and then it's not as organic. Like the word organic describes the Fresh Approach team in my opinion. It's just it's so blended and it's great.
I agree. And you see a lot of those other teams that just exactly what you said, pile on. But I feel
Yeah.
like part of the reason why you guys are so specific about who you bring on is because how much you and Jeff pour into the members and invest in their growth.
Yeah.
Like just finishing 2 years, like I can definitely see how much I've grown in my career now. And I was dabbling with going individual when I started off. And I'm so grateful that I didn't, because I feel like I've fast tracked so much, not just because of you and Jeff, but because of the other team members too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like everyone wants to collaborate with each other. Everyone wants to see each other grow.
Yep.
And it's not like a me versus you. It's
Yeah.
like
No.
we're all in this together sort of thing.
It's a healthy
Yeah.
competition sometimes
Yeah,
too. In
100
the,
healthy,
in the
yeah,
accountability
absolutely.
group.
Yeah.
It is.
I
It's
love our
fun.
healthy competition, and
Yeah.
it does feel good, and it does feel organic, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yep.
Authentic.
Yeah.
Those are the words that I would use to describe the way we, see our brand and ourselves. And the each agent, goes through the process.
Yep.
Right. We've all had to do it. You guys have all had to go through the process of our extensive
Yeah.
Yep.
interview.
Weeks.
Let's call it weeks,
Months.
sometimes months. And
Yeah, mine was months.
yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it takes a lot of time to get there. But you know what we've learned in this is that in the beginning, when we had the vision, we wanted to really like stick to this one thing, and because we were taught that.
Yeah. The One Thing by
One
Gary
Thing.
Keller. Yeah.
Yes. So we thought we had to fit. We built a square mold. And we could only find squares to fit in that mold. And
Yeah.
we wouldn't allow circles into it.
Yep.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Since learning these lessons, and people that have left our team, obviously people that we still love, care about, and spend a lot of time with in business,
Yeah.
we learned so many lessons along the way that we decided that our mold should be able to fit all sorts.
All sorts. Yep.
Circles,
Yeah.
triangles,
Yeah.
squares, all of them.
Yeah.
Very
okay?
inclusive.
They all belong. Okay? Because everybody, as long as everybody has the same values, same morals, same sort of work ethic, then they belong. And everybody has a different level of business on our team that they're doing. And so that's why we're making things a little bit different of how we're catering to our masterminds and our seminar, our sessions with each other and stuff like that. And everybody's on a different level, and that's okay, because we all have the same goals and we all care about one another. We
We
all
want
wanna see each
everybody.
other succeed.
I was gonna say we want to see everybody win on
Yeah.
the team, which is the most important.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you have this huge vision. You guys came together, started it, the implementer, the creator, the visionary.
Yeah.
And then you make it seem so easy because you're sitting here calm, cool, collected, but you are one of the hardest workers I know. Like you're out there after this, you have another appointment, then you have another appointment by the end of the evening, and then another in the morning, and then it just goes on and on and on and on. Is there a specific statement or a quote or something you repeat to yourself that just keeps you going and going and going? Or what is it that drives so much massive action? And then you're running the entire team, talking to Alex, talking to Ian, calling me, talking about where does that come from? What are you? Are you
8 questions in there.
Just gotta remember everything you said.
Are you an alien? Is my question.
Oh my
Sorry,
God,
Christy,
you're
but
so nice.
it's like
No,
it's
I
inspiring.
drink a lot of alcohol. No, I'm just kidding. But I do.
She starts with her green juice.
because
Yes, I do start with the green
Yeah,
tea, my
it's
AG
not
one.
it's not an accident that there's this podcast set here, that there's an office over in Streetsville, that you have your presence almost everywhere in the GTA. Like there has to be something that
Okay. Well, actually goes back to the first conversation that Jeff and I had. And we said, write down I can't remember if we wrote down or something. We did something exercise where it was like, write down a saying that you live and breathe by.
I'm like taking notes over here on the side. Guys.
Both of us had the exact same one.
Oh, wow.
Failure's not an option.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, and listen, there's been failures, there's errors, there's stuff,
Yeah.
but it doesn't take me down.
Wow.
Nothing will take us down. We will get back up and keep going. And like I was actually saying this to Faye's question today at our team meeting, Monday mornings.
Yep.
No matter how the weekend, whatever it is that happened went, if I don't get up on Monday morning and start that routine over again, then I will lose the rest of my week.
Yep.
It is the pivotal.
It's a new word.
Help me.
Pivotal.
Thank you. Part of the week is to get up early on Monday and start the health routine, the workout. You guys know I preach this, the workout, the AG1 or whatever it is
Athletic
you're doing for your
greens.
body.
Yep.
To get going, even when you don't feel like it. Because then what it does is it sets you up for success for the rest of the week. And you be surprised at how much shit you get done by Tuesday.
Yep.
Wow.
By Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then you're cruising.
Have you
So-
ever had an off Monday where it affected the rest of your week?
Of course, I'm a human. I'm not an alien.
Okay.
Thank you for thinking that.
We could all do it.
that a good
Everybody
thing?
watching, whatever industry you're in.
I have a question.
She's not an alien.
I'm not an alien.
What? Because everyone has failures. You've been in the business for 20 years. What's one failure that has happened that has changed your business?
Like one.
Like, what's one thing that has unfortunately failed at? Like, everyone has failures, right? Not everybody's perfect. What's one failure that you look back on that has been a positive thing to change a business?
Whenever I think about any type of failure, because everything to me is a lesson learned. So I'm always thinking, I actually don't label
Failure.
failure. So I'm not like, there's not a distinctive thing in my head. But if I ever think about failures, it's always related to money. Like I spent too much money on that. That didn't financially work out.
Yep.
I invested too much, maybe money and time on something that didn't come together, and constantly trying to be able to navigate and see that before it happens is something I'm still struggling with. As I told you, this is our hardest financial year. So that's the reality, is like, if I ever think about a failure, it was always financially related. And that's not my strong suit. I give up on that. I let that go.
Yep.
So I go, hire the best accountant.
Yeah.
Jeff's also really good with numbers.
Yeah.
You guys handle it. You know what I mean? And like, this is sort of like, I delegate what I'm not good at so that I don't let it happen again, kind of thing.
I remember one of the assistants weren't in the office and it was getting really cold or hot. And we were like, what do we do? Christy's like, well, I don't know how to use that thermostat. My assistant does it for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm good at leverage.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That's something that I've had to grow and learn along the way, and trying to wear too many hats at once. We know this. This is why we built the team the way we did, is agents wear a lot of hats, and juggling all those hats back when I was, you know, helping people pack their bags.
Wow.
Helping people clean their homes.
Yeah.
Doing the staging physically myself.
Wow.
Yeah, you can't do it all.
You can't do
There's
it all.
only 24 hours in a day.
Those are the lessons learned, I think, to understand that, like, that's why we've built the team the way we did, is like, hire all the best people in the industry that do that thing great so that we can focus on what we do great.
Yep.
And what we do great is client relationships, you know, negotiating sales for our clients, okay, servicing them at a high level, and then obviously being here for you guys. So because I've been able to leverage everything else that doesn't matter, that's why it looks like I'm an alien or whatever you're saying. Because but I've leveraged everything that doesn't matter, so I can only focus on those things.
Yeah.
And then I cut out that space to do my innovating, my creatives every year. It usually happens in December around that break, that Christmas break, or if I'm on vacation, I get inspired, spend a few hours a day cracking it out. Yeah. Those are things that I've learned along the way. And that was a lot of little things, maybe not one big thing, but that's all that can come to mind when I think about the word failure.
Yeah. So when you guys wrote that statement on the piece of paper, you had no idea what he was going to write. He had no idea what. And it just, you turned it over. That's insane. Isn't it?
Yeah.
To write the exact same
kind of shows it's the perfect match.
I was just gonna say,
you
guys
guys
are
that
perfect
happened.
match.
Like, that is a real true
Maybe
story.
you guys were connected in a afterlife or a
afterlife.
previous life. Sorry, afterlife.
In the one that's coming.
in the one
They probably will be in
we're
the one that's
headed
coming. Yeah, in a previous life,
no,
you guys were.
For sure we were, because there is so much alignment in how we see
That's awesome.
things. But like I said, we also wear our own hats. Like I just said, he's better at finances than I am. I'm better at creatives than he is, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Like even your social lives, when you guys were talking about how you balance social life with, working.
Yeah.
Your social life is completely different than Jeff's. Jeff's is like,
kids and trips
on a nice shirt and head down to whereas yours is just like deep chats into like the deep hours of the evening.
Oh yes, yeah. I do party a lot. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I do enjoy a social life. Yeah. And Jeff did too. I mean, he's just a family guy. Yeah. Like his life changed. Mine never had that change. So I've always been able to. And then I partner with somebody in my life who's similar to me.
To you.
So we just have a lot of friends.
You guys are great.
We're just so popular.
So you've definitely achieved like a lot of success in your career, and I think you serve as a very big inspiration for not only the team but for everyone out there about what's possible. Being that you started off so young in the industry, did you face a lot of challenges, and how did you overcome those challenges to kind of get exactly where you are today?
And I want to add being a woman.
Oh yeah. Yes, I've been asked this question.
Yeah, I asked you this. Yeah, like privately.
Yeah, and also a lot of the times when we bring people in to interview women, especially, they do ask me that question.
Yep.
So there were a lot of challenges, not only, and this is going to age me, but like the industry was also looked a lot different back then. Like there weren't young people in it. Like being 19, my tummy's growling. Hungry.
Oh no.
Lunch after this. Being 19 in the business, I think I was the youngest agent for sure at Royal LePage, if not like across a lot of brokerages at that time. And then also being female. Yep. So it was mainly a male dominated. I mean, and we're only talking 20 years ago, but like that was the reality of real estate, is it was very male dominated. And so the challenges that I faced were, okay, first of all, I'm growing as a young person and trying to learn who I even am, right? Yeah. Trying to build my identity.
Not even in your prime yet.
Not even in my prime yet. Going through stuff like just out of high school, like that kind of stuff, like having a big social life, all of those things I'm trying to balance. Those were all challenges for me. But then it was mostly the identity thing, was like, who do I want to be in this business? What do I want that person to look like?
You were asking yourself these questions at age 19. Who do I want to be, and what do I want to look like in this industry?
Yeah.
Are you happy with
reflecting on that?
Are you happy with where you are right now, looking back at your 19-year-old self?
I am.
Freaking powerful. Like the fact that a lot of people aren't asking themselves those questions.
No, definitely not at 19.
No, not at 19.
You go and look at 19-year-olds now, not all of them.
I wasn't asking
but like there isn't like that burning question in the back of
Yeah.
most people's lives, even deep into their 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Yeah. I was born to be an entrepreneur for sure. So when I looked at women in business, actually, it's funny because even as a child, I saw myself in like suits, and I saw myself like wearing like it was a
businesswoman.
briefcase, and I saw myself like not having like a husband take care of thing like
Independent.
I never saw myself with kids. But there was a moment where I saw myself as maybe adopting a kid or having a kid alone, like being like a single mom and like doing that. Like I always saw myself as like an independent woman with a briefcase. Like it's like then I got into real estate.
Going back to like what Ian was saying, because I feel like he was asking what those challenges were. You had this question, who do I want to be? What do I want to look like? So you had that vision in your mind, but in the reality, you weren't that yet.
No.
So
God,
how
no.
did you face that contrast? You had this vision that kept North Star.
Yes.
But then when you woke up in the morning, you were still 19. You still didn't have all those things.
Right. The challenges.
Did you ever feel inadequate when your vision wasn't lined up with that future you yet? Or did you, how did you walk through that interim phase?
When I look back to it now, I'm like, clearly I pushed through that and I got to where I wanted to be, but I do remember being at the time really struggling with that, you know, and like having some mental health about it as well. But then again, I was born to like not let a failure happen. Like I really wanted to just succeed. And so it was just go again, try again, keep going. Don't think about it. Like my mom was also very inspiring, obviously being a woman in business and the way she, like my dad stayed home with us as kids so that my mom could pursue real estate. Wow. So like that's where I had that example growing up, you know?
Yeah.
And then I did look around at the industry as well. Obviously I look outside of just inside my home, but I look around at the industry and I noticed these women, any successful woman in real estate that had a family, they had a nanny. I asked them the question, how did you do that? So so when I guess took that poll, I realized, it's going to be a choice that I'm going to have to make. Yeah. And not.
Nope. That's
why
it's tough.
now.
It's tough. I'm telling you.
I didn't have
It's tough. Yeah.
But
I ain't leaving the fresh approach.
And you know what I mean? But like I want you to have a wonderful family and that life. But I definitely had a crossroad where I had to make a choice between where I believed I had to make a choice between business or having a family. And I did choose business. It became my identity because it's all I visualized as a kid growing up. And the challenges that I faced, yes, sometimes I didn't get hired, maybe because of the way I looked or maybe like, whatever, I appear young. I didn't go to university. I don't think I have the best vocabulary. Like, honestly, sometimes, the F-bomb slips and like, I don't sound the great. Like, I don't sound super educated as a person, but I do know real estate.
Yeah.
I listen to my mom.
Live and breathe it.
Yeah. And whenever I tell people young in the industry, getting started, feeling that challenge of like, will people take me seriously? I say, just shadow all the brilliant ones and go and listen to them and get your experience through them because you will fast forward.
That's funny because my next question was, what advice would you give a newbie real estate agent?
Yes, that's it. That's it. Shadow the experienced ones. Listen to how they talk. Listen to how they communicate. And mimic them. Like don't
reinvent the wheel.
Yes, I was listening to that the other day.
There we go.
I think it was the second time we jinxed.
Okay, so let the occasional F-bomb slip.
Let that bomb slip. No, we can make mistakes. Another thing was because I had a lot of tattoos too. 19 tattooed girl. Like there was a lot of things going against me. We were like, I'm gonna give my biggest asset to this chick. Like who the hell are you? Wow. So it was talking the talk and walking the walk and just holding my head up high, knowing that I know more about real estate than they do because I spend every single day.
Yeah, you're obsessed with it.
In this business. So researching, knowing your market, knowing what you're going into, being prepared for your appointments, showing up, looking the part, it's all goes into it.
Yeah.
So, well, we are nearing the end of the episode. That goes by quick, eh?
Wow, that does go by quick.
It does go by quick.
I seriously am so inspired right now.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like, okay,
Oh,
because I know there's somebody listening right now that's gonna have an aha from this.
Yeah.
We could have you. I think we should have you on more and more.
Yeah,
but
it'd be our
we get
repeat
to like
guest.
we get to gatekeep Christy in our own little
Yeah.
office. We're like,
We've got her cell phone number.
but honestly, there's like, yeah,
You can find it online. It's pretty easy.
Quick Google search.
And we have our private.
You can Google.
But there's gonna ripples are being
love you
created
guys.
right now. There's
Yeah.
somebody watching, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that somebody's life's gonna change. It's gonna change many people's lives.
Yep.
So thanks for that. But
Aw.
we
Yeah.
do have some fun things. We want to do rapid fire
Yeah,
questions.
yeah.
Rapid fire. Okay, so
Okay.
mine
Cool,
is, what do you see as being the biggest challenge in real estate in the coming years? Like, what's coming, do you think, in real estate that's going to be really challenging? In 2025, let's just say, not in the coming
Are
years.
we all going to answer this
No,
question?
just
No,
you.
no,
I
no. We
just
each have one
it.
rapid fire
Mine's
question.
more
Yeah.
fun.
Got it.
Mine's
Okay,
more
okay,
fun.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm clear. Okay, the challenge. What are we going to see?
Yeah.
I think we have yet to see the supply top. Like,
Okay.
I think that we're going to have an excessive amount of supply. We already feel that way right now.
Especially going to the fall.
And yes, buyer motivation is low at the moment. Hopefully buyer motivation follows the supply. That's what I'm hoping for. But I think the reality of this is we're going to see more supply before it gets any better. And so what we know about a lot of inventory is that, it does create the buyer's market.
Yeah.
And the buyer's market, I think, is going to get a little worse before it gets better. That's my opinion.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to go?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your craziest story in real estate?
Oh my God, this is good. I go to show this house in Brampton, basement apartment, and my clients were looking to buy it as an investment property. I was not notified that there was a dog in the apartment below. Okay, I was not notified about this. The keys were given to me. Okay, I open up the apartment, and this dog is not
Friendly.
nice.
Oh, God.
It is barking at me. It's going crazy, and I'm kind of stunned. And the thing latches on, bites my arm,
Oh no.
is hanging off of me. It was like a Jack Russell,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
and
Little
it
yappy
was
dogs.
like hanging off of my arm. It was, and I was like, ah! And then my client didn't know what to do, so he kicks it, and it falls off. Oh my God! Now I'm gonna be like in trouble for animal abuse.
You pick
No,
my dog.
it's-
He was saving my life. And then, so the dog, and then the next scene, I had this purse with long hoops. If you notice, I only wear crossbodies now.
Yeah.
I had this purse with long hoops, like a big one, and he jumped through it with his head and took my purse down the street.
Oh my god.
And then in the middle of the street was shaking all my stuff out
Oh,
everywhere.
God.
It was so embarrassing, like feminine products coming out. My client went to go pick everything up for, like, I was like mortified. Anyways, we had to call it a day, and I was like, that dog went running down the street, and I just called the listing agent, and I was like, there's a dog on the loose.
Oh, my
Did
God.
they, what did they say? Did they know?
There was no care in the world.
class.
Do you have a
Classic.
scar, like a scar on your arm?
No,
or?
it didn't. It was winter.
Okay,
So
so
I
you had a
was wearing a
thick
winter
coat?
coat. Thank God
Ah.
it did rip my coat
Yeah.
though. Like I had a hole in my coat, so it would have hurt if it really
Wow,
got.
this is
through.
like one of those like
It's just
movies.
scary.
You know, like
Yeah.
somebody's walking into the house, a dog.
Yeah.
That's
That's
literally.
nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Wow.
That was crazy. That was it. The craziest one. I
that's a
always
good story.
remember
Wow,
it.
I love that. Okay, last one. Favorite room to savor in a house you are touring?
Oh, okay. Well, if there isn't like a specialty room,
Yeah, no.
just the regular
Yeah.
rooms. Okay. Kitchen.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah,
We're always
gonna
yeah,
spend-
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how I tour a home. We go through, we're going to have a little chat in the kitchen. We're going to keep looking at the house. We're going to come back to the kitchen, and we're going to finish the chat.
Yeah.
And because decisions get made around the island, around the kitchen table.
Yeah.
You know, so I always bring my clients back to the kitchen when they're feeling a house, when they
Yeah.
really like it. Let's spend some time there. That's
awesome.
What if it's not a nice kitchen?
Oh, we'll go somewhere
go
else.
somewhere else,
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll go somewhere.
Okay, I've got two more.
Okay.
What's one book everybody should read?
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy.
We should prep our guests with
There's
questions.
way
eh?
too many books.
Yeah, I do. My thing is going through.
Yeah, Audible has like 160 books.
Okay, like
Or listen to.
You know what? I'm always gonna say the one thing because that's the one I kind of have read the most.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's always one that I
Yeah.
go back to.
Yeah.
I just love it. Like it's
Yeah.
just so good.
And then what's one movie everybody should watch?
Oh, like in regards to business
No,
or
just
like
in general.
my favorite movie,
Your favorite movie?
like Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
that would
wow.
be your
Wolf.
favorite movie.
I just watched that
Sell
one
me
the
this
other
Did
week.
you?
Yeah.
That's
Classic.
funny.
Wolf of Wall Street is just so good.
That's
Come
just
on,
a
like
classic.
I quote that movie more than any other movie. It's just so good.
Oh, wow.
So good.
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much
Awesome.
for
Yeah.
coming.
was
Wait,
amazing having
everybody
you.
say their favorite movie.
Ooh.
Ooh. You know what? Honestly, this is really nerdy, but I'll rewatch the Harry Potter movies any day.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've never even seen one.
Oh my God, you have to. It's so magical.
Yeah, I'm not
So
really a
great.
big fan of Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Em
you
loves Harry
guys.
Potter though.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
I'm a
Everybody
huge
should
fan of
watch
Wolf
it.
of Wall Street. I like Pursuit of Happiness though.
Oh, that
that's
is
that's a
good.
good
It's a
movie.
good movie.
It's a classic.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good one. That is.
I would say Gladiator is in
Oh,
one of my
yes.
top. Yeah.
That's Scott's favorite.
It's so hard to pick a favorite movie or song.
Yeah.
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 It's just it. But Gladiator always touches me.
Sticks.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What's
Okay.
your favorite type of music, by the way? Because I know it's.
Indie.
Oh, you're indie.
I
Okay.
love classic rock too, so it's hard
Wow.
for me. But like indie will be the first thing that comes to mind, like
Okay.
Arcade Fire. I'm just such a fan.
Mm.
So,
Oh, I was gonna go
forever.
to Arcade Fire.
I've went.
Just recently. They
No,
were.
no, I
Oh,
went
no, that
last
was
year.
Alexis on Fire.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
No,
different.
different band.
Yeah, different band.
Completely different.
Yeah.
I won't even go there.
Oh man, I feel like we could have you
I know,
on
we could
for
sit here and talk for
ever.
hours.
Half
It's already
hour
been
if we
40
wanted to.
minutes.
Fun.
Yeah.
That was episode 9
Episode
of Keeping
nine.
It.
fresh.
Keeping it fresh.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming
Thanks
on.
for
It was
coming,
amazing
Christy.
having
This was
you.
so much
Thanks for
fun.
having me. I'm so
And
proud of you guys.
If you want to ask Christy more questions, she's on Instagram. We're gonna plug
Yeah,
all her
info
channels.
on our channel.
Call me on my cell.
Yeah,
It's online. You can
watch
find
it across the
it.
screen. Yeah.
Okay,
Awesome.
thanks,
Aw, thank you,
guys.
Christy.
Thank you. I
Awesome.
love
Thanks
you
for
guys.
joining.
Have a good one.
Okay.